What is up, YouTube? MGO40 here, and good morning to those of you in Texas playing at the YCS this weekend. Oh man, I hope you've enjoyed your exceedingly long grind against hopefully the last event that we're going to have to deal with, Orcust. So, we're going to kind of go through the top 10 tables here, kind of see what's going on, talk about a couple of things, spice up the metagame, and probably cry a whole bunch, because that's all we do in these styles of videos. Just kidding. Let's dig on into day one out of Texas, the review, shall we? Alright, well, if you didn't see this one coming, Orcust is the top 10 tables, basically. We have 7 Orcust variants, by the way. This deck's not going to get hit on the next list, right? Totally. Like, I've said it again, and I'll say it 100 times over. It's not that Orcust itself is broken, it's how splashable it is. And as I constantly see in my comment section, people like it's a necessary evil to the game. It allows these certain decks to keep up. We're just sugarcoating this at this point. Like, maybe Mermaid is the right hit. We at least take it away from being splashable, and we detour it into more of a, you know, you have to play more of its pure build. I think that fixes things. You'd be surprised what one little slap on the wrist can do. So, out of the Orcust variants I see here, we have 2 Orcust Dark Warrior, which means, that's the variant that plays Neospatian, Aqualad combo, right? Like, you do that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's so much different than that. But, you know, speaking of that variant of the deck, we really just got rid of Aqua Dolphin and company. Nobody really cares about it all that much anymore. It's kind of interesting to see how much it's fallen off of the map in terms of attack choice for the format. So kudos. I will say this, you know, we had that engine for so long, it was doing so well. Good job for, you know, getting rid of Shenanigans Discard Turbo. We've become a much more honorable duelist since the ripping of the hand from the opponent. So, okay, there's that. I still standardly see Lunalight Orcust. Now, interesting enough, there is only one Lunalight Orcust and the top chunk of these things, which is kind of interesting. You know, the OTK factor behind the deck, the Boral Sword Go, Azathoth. You know, a lot of people are cutting back on the Azathoth play from what I've been seeing this week. Azathoth was a very big contender for the going second variant. The ability to snap and break through these boards is great. Alright, it's fantastic actually, but how consistently can you do that through a 10 or 11 round event? That's the real shocking question. Also, we had, what was it, 1,300 plus people at this event, so standings and showings were good for that. We also had Cyber Dragon Orcust. Oh, Blair, Ed, this crazy contraption that we've been seeing for the longest time throughout the top tables. Guys, put down your Cyber Dragon Orcust decks. It's time to call it a day. The joke of 2 monsters is full Orcust combo is dying. Just saying. Now, in other representation here, we had 6 Salad decks. This is kind of high. If you told me that it was Salad and Orcust in the finals of this event, I wouldn't be all that shocked, actually. It looks like, I see Asala is also playing Salamangreat. So, interesting enough out of this. Also, DeBlessin was also playing the Salamangreat deck, which was also interesting. A couple of good name players are playing Salad at the moment, which means looks like players might have finally broken the Formioli out of this for making Salad viable this format. Salad's been struggling all format to kind of do its thing, and it's about darn time that we finally get the chance to, you know, see Salad do something. Roar and Rage is very good cards, but interesting to see 6 Salad decks at the top tables. Yikes. Well, also, it looks like Sky Striker's also got some sort of representation. Striker's always going to be sitting there at the dinner table. I'm not exactly sure what more we want out of Striker. The deck, its numbers are getting lower and lower at events. So passively, that means that the format is learning to counter the deck. All right, that's a good thing. All right, like to every person that's like, oh, Sky Strikers, I don't want to play it anymore. I get it. The deck is way past its checking point at this point in time, but numbers and things are still showing that the deck is alive. And of course, until something happens to it on the next list, we do something else to it, we will probably continue to see the toolbox deck continue to sit at the dinner table. There's nothing that we can really do about it at this point. Like, you know, banless time obviously will fix things, but Sky Striker continuing to just lower representation for the top 10 tables at the end of round 9, which is kind of interesting. Then we also have Burning Abyss. Ryan Fletcher actually playing this deck. Now, something about, this is the only BA player, by the way, and he was coming in at table 6 at the end of this round, which is interesting. I know Farfa was testing the deck all week, at least trying to do something with it. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but he was talking about it, and it was kind of nice to see this. The deck still very much does what it wants to do. It still wants to go through the large boss monsters. I'm curious to know if it's a Sekka's Light variant or not. If he's got a good chunk of matchups all day, then we won't have to really, I guess he won't have to worry about Sekka's Light all that much. But the deck still has a lot of issues in today's format, which I wish it didn't, because seeing BA return to the game, as much as I hate BA and how much as I dog on the deck, it'd be kind of nice to see it. Then the one I was rooting for, table 8. We've got Kevin Rodriguez Gonclaves. I'm really terrible with names. He's playing Gem Knights. So we see this deck every other event. And they pretty much, they wash their hands with it. They checked it enough. Now we have to go Unicore, you know, bounce back, our beautiful part of the combo that we need. The deck is still very fragile, don't get me wrong, but the deck is solidly probably the most consistent tier 2 FTK. The same issue comes up every event with this, though. A dedicated player has to take the time to step through the combos and be, you know, want to play the deck. I would say in terms of the OTK perspective, the deck has a very high ceiling, but the deck is very highly rewarding for what it will grant you back. So I'm rooting for Gem Knights. Kevin, if you could pull a miracle out of your hat and, you know, go win this event, just go do it. Like, I don't care how you do it, just do it. It would be great to see Gem Knight FTK just win in the middle of this Orcust infested format. And I see we also have one Altergeist being our last rogue deck at the top 10 tables. Yikes. That's an interesting one. I'm not too happy about that. We'll have to wait and see. Outside of that, that's your format, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I don't know. There's just kind of something about it that is, it's boring. We need a change. Like, there's nothing. Okay, so we have Mystic Fighters coming out at November, okay? And nothing in that set changes the game. Like, sure, Dragon Maids will maybe top a regional and should be able to get top 32. I don't see why not. But at this stage in the game, there's nothing coming. Ignition Assault might spice up a couple of things. Chaos Impact is very passive on our format. Granted, like I said, we are a couple, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from Chaos Impact actually impacting our format. We get IP Masquerena. That's really about it. So when I look at these, I would expect numbers to kind of stay about the same, and, you know, we'll kind of just see from there. So outside of that, I'm rooting for the Gem Knight FTK guy. If he could pull it through, I would. Come on, guys, lend this man your energy. I know it's a degenerate FTK deck, but it's still Gem Knights. Come on now. Let's polish up those little gems, and let's hope our mans can at least make top 32. That'd be really nice to say. Outside of that, it'd be a solid win. But what do you guys think is going to win YCS, Texas. I'm kind of curious myself, but I digress. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.